time that I was saying the opening prayer, this opening is really important. So they were just showing this like flood of light, this like feeling of like closer to God, like this opening, all of the light that comes through here just has this like cascade of light just right here on the property. So I want to start by saying that because they kept showing how this light just filters in almost like this waterfall of light that's like peering through. So there is something very special about that, this opening within the canopies. So starting with the first question, what important historical events does the current owner need to know about this exact location? So I always sit with it if it's something intense, and it is. I just want to make sure I get the full story before I speak on it. So there was violence, and they're just showing that, let's see, who was this between? Actually saying it feels like it was actually between brotherhoods. So like indigenous brotherhoods. I'm getting the sense that the tension created from outsiders is what they're saying. The tension created from outsiders overtaking the people of the population who was living here created violence between tribes. So they're actually showing me that the external influence of violence, weapons, they ended up using them on each other. So what they're showing me is they were showing me an axe being used to behead and cut off parts of people's limbs. And then I was trying to zero in on who am I looking at? And they were actually saying brotherhood. So this external influence and giving them these weapons, I'm seeing this like sharp, like metal axe, when then they had their fights, they felt empowered with these new weapons and then used them on each other. So I'm feeling that there's a lot of guilt within the community. There's this feeling of like, oh, we turned on each other. Like we let these I'm getting the chills up my legs. We let these outsiders, they're kind of saying like infect our hearts and turn us against each other. And so they're saying that this was like a safe place. Like this was a safe place. And I'm feeling there's this connection of the turning against each other, like people's turning against each other, like we're same, and we're turning against each other. So there is this bigger feeling and story, kind of like the triggering and the trauma of it in current events.
Yeah.
So they're like extra protective, and they're saying ridden with this like guilt and shame of being that way, and they're like so desperate. They're saying to teach people and to keep the community from turning on themselves. And I'm actually getting chills on my skull, on my scalp. So that's a really big deal. I usually just get them on my legs. So it's kind of like they're like witnessing everybody, and they're like, this is a more peaceful place. Like this is a more peaceful area, but they're feeling the fear. They're saying the initial impact of witnessing this like other and weapons and all of that. So they're just saying current events. Okay. Oof. Okay. So let's get more specific. What energies, spirits, or guides are currently present on the land? they're saying council, they're saying township. So there's like a full community. They're saying quarters. They're in quarters. Oh, they're in quarters. Interesting. And then there's an apex. So it's like in each quarter is a different community, and then there's something about this apex.
On this property?
It's the apex on, where's the apex? Where is the apex? I guess the apex is downtown. Oh, okay. I think the apex might be further south, but this is one of the quarters. Okay, this is one of the quarters, and they're just saying Lenape.
Okay.
So let's see even more specific. Are there specific individual energy, spirits, or guides that are currently present on the land? I'm seeing like a mother holding a baby. And she's got lots of kids behind her. And they're saying like a peaceful way, a peaceful place. She's quiet, but someone's talking about her. But she's who's here mostly with children. Many children, many of the children, and even like babies. So they're saying like youthful. So there's a youthful energy on the property. Innocent, but also like loving. They're kind of giving me the sense of like she's a teenager.
Is this like Native American?
Yeah, and she's a young woman, but she's got this. There is a purity. There's like a truth. There's something really clear about her. She's here, and she's here with the kids. I'm getting kind of like a salvation. Like there's something about her that's like she brings them around. Like she has her kids with her, and they're seeking. They're kind of saying like perpetual seeking of a peaceful way, the salvation. And so it's almost like she's walking through and like navigating just like spaces here and there, and like because the world is like these like bomb, she's taking these kids like to the places that are places where they can just be at peace already.
Yeah.
Does that speak to you?
That. Yeah. I feel that like kind of feeling, and like there's spaces and there's like paths.
She said, she's saying, she's walking away. Like she's walking away, not going away, but she walks away. She walks a certain way. And it's almost like if you come out here and you're walking through, you might actually pick up on her field, and you walk with her and them.
Yeah. You can feel that when you move through the yard. It's very overgrown right now, but definitely like certain places that want to be like more carved out, or which is why like I always feel like hesitant to disturb anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I need to respect that feeling. I don't know what it was.
So it's interesting because I feel like they're kind of saying that when you're doing that, she's leading the way.
Yeah.
So you're not disturbing anything. It's like she's walking you through.
Yeah.
Like you're going into these places, and it's almost like they're saying a feeling way. It is a feeling way.
Yeah.
It is a feeling way. So they're actually kind of saying like, yes, like you are actually feeling like the energy of the plants, the energy of the spirits as you're walking around. And so you are getting these kind of, they're showing like a bowling alley and like gutters, like bumping the ball back in. You are feeling where it's like, yes, I can touch this. No, I shouldn't touch that. I should pull this. I should, you are totally, they're saying like you totally resonate with the property. So you also, like she leads a certain way, but you are also totally feeling the environment. They're kind of like, you could like sit down and put your hands on the ground, and like it's almost like everything kind of like magnetizes and like levitates up. When you sit on the ground, it's like, whew, like things just raise. You're just saying raised up. Like the energy raises up when you it's your hands. It's sitting in your hands. You could sit anywhere on the property, anywhere you want to sit on the property, and again, you're gonna feel where you feel permission to sit or not to sit. And when you sit there, I'm just seeing like all this, like almost like it gets like magnetized and starts levitating into the air. So they're just saying that's what you do.
Cool.
That's what you do here. And there's so much love for your presence and like you being in the earth here.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. Yeah.
Because they're showing you like standing with like both feet on the grass, kind of like this, and then also like leaning against a tree, maybe like stretching or you're doing something, and they're just like, oh my God, they just love that because it's like, and they're like kind of showing me like this tree, like as if you were to do that to this tree. But there's something about like your connection. It's like you do something to the energy. There's like you create this really powerful like magnetizing movement, vibration, if you have feet on the ground and you touch a tree.
Interesting.
Or and when you garden or you touch a plant. And it's like I'm just getting the sense of like if you were to pull things out.
Oh, that was me pulling all the poison out.
Oh yeah, there's like a lot of support for that.
All around here, pulling it all out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all grown back right.
Yeah. That's so funny. They're calling poison ivy a trickster energy.
Oh, for sure. It's like everywhere here.
They're calling it a trickster energy. That's so cute. Oh my goodness. Okay. So what messages or information do the energy spirits or guides have for the current owner at this time? They're kind of just saying like relaying those messages of peace between like the internal divisiveness. So they're kind of like within yourself, if you're feeling divided, if you feel like one half of you is attacking another half of you, they're kind of like, you know, they're saying like cultivate a way to make peace between both sides. And then I'm just getting the sense of like, yeah, we argue, we fight, you know, but it's not that serious. They're like, it's like, but in your life, family, friends, like anything that's kind of happening in your, they're saying like local, like internal, current experiences. They're just saying like, just do your best to not have us attack each other. Cause what they're just saying is like, these are like, it's like, they're questioning. They're kind of like, we can't tell how barbaric humanity is going to be, right? And so, but what they're saying is we've seen this before and we know the seeds, how they get planted. And so they're afraid and they're just like, they're kind of like, you're watching the screens, you're watching the TV, but it's not in your living room. You know, the fighting, the divisive, it's not in your house, but because we're all watching TV and we're watching screens, we're inviting it in. And so they're so scared about the impact that this modern technology is having on dividing people and making them attack each other. Whereas when they experienced it, it was firsthand, right? So it was like these colonizers came and they gave them weapons with the intention of divide and conquer. Like, I'm getting that like they figured this out afterwards. So they're saying that like they came in peace and there was this intention of like providing them with all this material, these tools and these resources to help them thrive, survive, like live like modern technology, right? And then they were just like, oh, because what they ended up doing was they kind of like gave them these tools and they were thinking, they projected that onto the community. And then it's almost like these seeds were planted to turn them against each other. Oh, you know, if you do this, you can make more of this. Oh, if you do this, you can, and they literally just like came in and ripped apart the communities. And so they're just saying like, directly, it's directly important. And then again, there's this big question mark, you know, are people capable? And it's like we're trying to talk about this early, as soon as we can, because we know how capable people can be to getting to the point where someone is using an axe to cut off someone's head and hands. So they're just saying we see the early seeds, and we are just like super warning, and just like whatever you can do within yourself, your internal world and your immediate environment to keep the peace, and to just, there's something about just like spreading the messages early. They're saying early seeds are planted, divide and conquer tactics. They're kind of saying they always work unless there's an internal awareness, unless you know ahead of time that that's what's happening. So they're saying they see that's what's happening on a really zoomed out scale, and they're like, oh no. Yeah. Woohoo. What support can the energies, spirits, and guides offer the current owner? When you come outside and you're breathing the air here, there's like extra love and magic and medicine in the air here. So they're saying it's like, it's more than fresh air. They've actually like, they're saying it's very fruitful air. So the balance of everything that's here on purpose over time, it's like, they're just saying, breathe the air. There's so much of these like, almost like, they're saying otherworldly measures. There are otherworldly measures in the air that you breathe here. So it's like they're kind of, it's like they're saying like mythical, magical.
Oh yeah, I always feel like there are fairies here.
Okay. Oh, amazing. Okay, great. So but that's it, right? So there's a lot of magic in the air here. Like you are getting it. So the elements, right? So it's like anytime you're not feeling so great, or anytime you need a boost, they're like 24/7. Just step outside and take a deep breath. And you're gonna know you're doing it, and they're gonna know you're doing it, and they're gonna infuse the air with exactly what you need. So they're also just kind of like, just trust that like the oxygen you breathe here, the oxygen is filtered for your perfection.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're saying in your whole family, like your whole family, like, or anyone who's here, there's just this living air. It's like super, they keep saying like magical, mythical, like, but they're like, just trust that it's good for you. It's like, so that's what they're saying, good for you.
Okay. We all have allergies, so I don't know.
Interesting. Let's ask about that.
Yeah, my younger son and I have like bad allergies here.
Okay, so let's ask. You're saying that the air is super good for them, then why are they having allergies? Why are they having allergic reactions to the air? Pollutants nearby, passageways, in conflict with, but then they are showing me the pollen. Showing me the pollen. There's something about the pollinators. Okay, so how could they balance out the excess pollen that's on the property? They just said, what eats pollen? Do you have pollinator plants here?
I do on the roof for sure.
They said throw seeds.
Throw seeds
of pollinator, of native pollinator plants. But I'm just trying to, because they were just showing like a little bug. They weren't being specific. They were showing a little bug flying in the air with teeth, like what eats the pollen, and it was eating pollen. The first thing that they said was something about pollution, which shouldn't be that close. You're not that close.
I think that though, that's interesting, because I've heard that in general, like, there's more pollen right now. Maybe it's, I don't remember if it's like because of pollution or because of some kind of industrial something. It's like there's like excess amounts of pollen right now.
Okay, so
in the air lately, in the last few years.
So as you're speaking, there's huge cloud, like this kind of gray cloud of pollution coming up against this cloud of yellow pollen, and they're kind of just like getting stuck on each other. Like there's something about the components of the pollution and the components of the pollen,
Yeah.
where they don't really pass each other, they just kind of stay and linger.
Yeah.
Whereas if there wasn't the pollution, the pollen would kind of just keep going.
Or it might be the global warming. I forget which it was, like, but I read something recently about that.
So yeah, so it's kind of like there's like this stagnancy or this stillness in the air that's kind of just holding them.
Okay.
Holding them there. So some of it you can try and do something about, and some of it is a bigger issue.
Yeah.
Okay. So what support can the current owner offer the energy, spirits, or guides? Let's see. What support the current owner offer? Fire? Do you ever sit out here with candles or
We do a fire.
a little
right
fire
now.
pit? Okay, that's what they're showing, like a fire pit. So what happens is when you're sitting around the fire pit, they have their own like ritual. They love fire for cleansing and clearing and burning stuff. So it's almost like as you sit here, whether you're doing that or not, or just relaxing by the fire, it's almost like if we had like a ritual, we were writing things down on a piece of paper and burning them in the fire. They're over your shoulders, like burning stuff that doesn't need to be here anymore. So that's what they're just saying, like anytime you feel like you want to do that, you can do that. They're kind of saying together. They're like, we can do that intentionally together, but anytime that you have a fire here, we're doing that.
Cool.
And they're actually saying we're doing that for you.
Oh.
So if you initiate the fire, place, even if it's like a little candle, if you don't do the full thing, if it's a candle, they're gonna come and help you. And they're kind of saying like you can like speak into it. Like say like, you can just sit back and relax, and they're gonna do things. They're gonna get rid of things for you. But if you also have like specific intentions of things that you think need to burn up, just speak them over the fire, and they'll just give it a little extra oomph from them as well to help you get rid of it. they really, it's so good. Oh my God, I love that. So they need fire to help alchemize some of the stagnant energies. So it's like they can only hold so much. It's like they can only do so much with it. They actually need the elements of fire to help transmute it into something else, to help transform it, to help have it like get lighter and dissipate and turn into this like light ash and go back into the stars, they're saying. It's like they're kind of saying it's like the last part of the process. So as they do work to like support the property and you and everyone who's here, like they really just need an element of fire, a location for fire for them to take it to fully
What if
release
it's in
it.
the house?
Let's see. Open windows. They just said open windows. They're kind of showing like open windows and maybe have a fan to help move it out. There's something about like, like having a little bit of wind or a whirlwind. Like there needs to be a little bit of a whirlwind to help it. So the way that fire moves, it has these like movements that helps move it. And so they're showing a fan and a window open. Or if you don't have the fan by the window and the fire, etc., for you to use your hand and kind of like help like fan it out. Yeah. It needs those.
We used to do a lot of fires back here, but we haven't done it in the last few years. So it's interesting.
They're saying it really needs it. Yeah. And again, there's the invitation, like you can choose to participate or not, but they're going to do it for you no matter what.
Cool.
How can the current owner enjoy the most harmony and balance? How can the current owner enjoy the most harmony? They just said she does it. She does it. She does it already.
Oh.
They're saying she belongs. She belongs here. I'm almost getting like winds were almost like coaxing you here anyway. Like you were. Did you feel a draw here? How did you?
Yeah.
Okay, because
We were looking like in this area, like around Nyack, when we moved from Brooklyn, and literally our realtor was like, "I'm just taking this place," and literally we walked in, and I was like, "This is the place." My husband wrote a letter to the landlord and was like, "We want to raise our family here. Like, this is the place," and we got it.
awesome.
So it was like perfect. Yeah.
Awesome.
I was like, "This is where we have to be."
Yeah, that's amazing. So there was totally this, like, this, like something was happening in the air. It was like bringing you here.
Yeah.
And someone's saying, I found you. I found you.
Oh.
And you belong here for as long as you'd like to stay. It's a very important place, and you understand, and you'll continue to understand. You'll feel it, you feel it. It's a special place in a way that matters, and it's very important to you. So this place is also important to you. You're important to it, and it's important to you. They're saying there's a reciprocity. So that's part of it. Is like, it's almost like there's like all these factors came into having you here, and it was that like once you got here, there was just this like flow. Like there's this, you are a catalyst. They're calling you a catalyst. You're a catalyst for how the energy moves on the property. Because they're just saying like you're the living being, you're in the material world, and we're all in the spirit world, and so there's this like this connection and this reciprocity. Like there's the way you're kind of like the last piece, like like you were like a really important part of this land. They're saying Lenape. You have past life being a Lenape woman. So they just said, welcome back home.
Oh.
So you came home. I'm getting that you were, so they're showing me the young woman again, and all the kids, and I'm getting the sense that you were like the grandmother of her. They were showing like mother and then grandmother. They keep saying grandmother. You were her grandmother. And so they're saying reincarnation. So, and there's something like she loves seeing you in this form. Like, oh, there's just this, I'm actually, her energy, like now that I'm really sitting with like trying to describe this young woman's energy, is like she has your energy. Like there's this like calm confidence, this like relaxed truth. And so that's why they're going back to the beginning when they were talking about like, it's not about the purity, it's truth. It's truth. Pure, yes, pure truth. And so you and her are like, they're like same. So she loves seeing you because she feels incarnated. Like she looks at you and she's like, she sees her grandmother, but she also is just like, the presence of your energy is family, is familiar to her. So she's like seeing a mirror when she looks at you. And so she feels like she's alive. So she watches you and she's like, I'm living. You know, it's like she's watching a movie of herself, is what they're saying. She's watching a movie of herself. Because you are same lineage. You're of the same lineage. Before I go on to the next question, is there anything that you want to share or add, or anything that's kind of coming to mind as I'm saying any of that?
I'm curious if there's like another woman present.
Mother. So you're grandmother, and then there's mother, and then there's the young woman. And mother, she's like this. She's a little bossier. There's something she didn't want you two to connect. Because you were so similar, and she felt a little jealous of your bond. I'm just seeing like she is like, you're standing here as grandmother, she's standing here, and then her mother, your daughter, jumps. Is it your daughter? Just saying mother. She got, maybe she's not by blood, but she was an in-between age, and so they're just calling her mother. But she knew, she could tell you both were so special and important, and it kind of bothered her. And so she tried to keep you away from each other. Like, oh, you're busy, you do that. Oh, she's busy, you do that. So there's someone here, they're kind of saying a little bit of a separateness, like separated. She's like keeping him separated. So I'm wondering how the energy of that lands for you, and if you were asking about that or someone else.
No, someone else. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that person? And
something that's like another kind of caretaker of the property.
have you seen her?
I just feel her.
You feel her. Okay. So who's this woman?
I thought it was like feel her around like the house. Just kind of like off to the sides, like just kind of like roaming around a little bit.
Do you feel like she's tidying? Does she kind of like, is she kind of like overseeing the house?
Yeah,
They're
maybe.
saying that's someone else.
Yeah.
That person's not connected to who's outside. Interesting.
But also I feel someone like in the garden, like over there. Sometimes, or I used to when I first moved up here. I haven't been working in that garden recently, but like digging and things, like just feeling like there's someone else there like digging as well.
They're saying many people. They're saying many people. They're all, it's like they all have their chores of like tending to the house or the property. It seems like it's people who have lived here before, their energies, and they loved living here before. And it's like they're still doing their duties. They're still doing their chores around the space to tend to it. There is the woman inside. They're saying she's not Lenape. She's not, they're saying she's I'm seeing her like cleaning the house. Like she does housekeeping inside. And then they showed me a man with like a tool, like a special shovel, and he was kind of on like a thinner frame. That's why I was like, oh, is it a man? And you're like, no, it's a woman. So this person is also here. He is also not Lenape. He was later on the property, but he tended to the land, right? So this was many, many years past the Lenape. And then the woman gardening, she gardens with you. So if you're there, she's gardening with you. And if you're really quiet, it's almost like she like talks to you. So it's like if your head is like down and like you're in the ground, she's like almost like talking into your crown chakra. Do you
I have chills in my arms right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
They're saying she's whispering secrets to you. She's
yeah.
like, she's telling you things. She's they're saying source energy, like she's giving you like life.
Yeah. That's why like you can think about things like when you're gardening, you know what I mean, digging, and it's like that stuff like just like comes to you like meditation.
It's wild. She speaks directly to your.
Like get back to the garden.
Yeah. It's almost like you know, you're working, and it's almost like I can feel this like loving, like almost like mothering vibration at the top of my head, and she's just telling you things. She's like whispering these like loving secrets to you. They're saying she's a companion. She's a companion for you. Yeah, at that spot.
Are these spirits like, do they all come with the property, or do some come with you from other places?
So where do all these spirits come from? Where do all these spirits come from? They're saying some of them are here, and some of them are coming from other places and other worlds, but they are all matching a vibration that's here. And you are matching their vibration. So it's almost like you're the catalyst. So when your vibration is here on the property, spirits, energies, past, present, future, they're saying from this world and other worlds and past lives, they're saying it's familiar, it's family, like the energy feels so like home, so it all comes here, but they're saying it's you.
What about the rest of my family?
Let's see. They're saying same. They're saying lineage. It's the new lineage of this energy. The new lineage of this energy field. Just showing just all these different ways that energy is like moving. But it's like you're like the powerhouse, and then it's like you like rub off on people and some of your energy changes them, and then they're showing like your children as like these seeds, and then they're gonna get bigger and they're gonna be these energies, but you're all a part of the same energy field, and so you draw energies from, they're saying like the same place, the same like vibratory place. You have the same match, the same energetic frequency match. So it's almost like this sound wave goes out, your sound waves, they're saying, like your vibratory frequency, and like anything that matches that is coming to it. Like they're really trying to like explain this. And it's like, it's yours. And then there's lots of people who share this same kind of frequency. And it's like, you know, some days it's like, you might like vibrate a little bit differently, and then it kind of like, things kind of like go away. But like when you're vibrating like really tight and high and fast, it's like you bring everybody in. And then it's like if you kind of like let go, or you're kind of feeling a little low, whatever, just everybody kind of goes out. Like it's this really cool thing that happens. Yeah. But I think that's why they're saying this is how it happens. But they're repeating lineage. So there is like an energetic field. You guys have an energetic lineage of the same place, and then you find each other. And this happens to be like a portal. This happens to be like a magnetic attraction, they're saying, that like you had to fit into this portal to kind of like make it woof, woof, woof. It's so cool. Wow, okay. Oh, what key features about the location are important for the current owner to be aware of? What key features about the location are important for the current owner to be aware of? Is there water?
There's a stream right there.
Okay, the stream. They're saying that's a pathway. Okay, so what do we need to know about the stream? What do we need to know about the stream? They're showing, can you get down to it? It's okay. Do you ever put your hands in it and just kind of?
I mean, I used to do it in my kids were little bit. It dries up, and then it's variable. Yeah.
They're just showing you like just kind of bending down to it and like putting your hands in it. They're saying like minerals. Let me see. They're saying you can ritualize that. Just going down to the stream. Oh, and cleaning your hands of things. Like if there's something you're just like, I want to wash my hands clean of this. Because what they're saying is like, because they're saying the waterways aren't as pure as they used to be, you still want to wash your hands before you then go like eat something, you know, like.
No, I was gonna say like we usually don't.
No. So, but this is what, yeah, they're totally showing that. They're like, they don't want you to not have. Don't think of it as cleaning.
Yeah.
But they want you to use that to wash your hands clean of things, and then obviously before you touch food or do anything, wash your hands for real. But they want you to ritualize that practice for yourself. I'm kind of getting like, I'm done with this person, I'm done with this place, I'm done with this experience. Like there's something about any time that you feel really done with something, to kind of like put your hands in it, and then they're just like, wash your hands clean, and you're going like this and you're washing your hands clean, and then basically it's like that stream is like taking it away. Okay, any other key features? They're like, all the trees are friends. They're like the trees, this is family too. So these are your plant family. So all the trees they're like people. Yeah. So they're just like, you're in good company. They're like, you're in good company. All the trees.
Can they tell them not to fall in the roof?
Oh my God. Okay, well, let's see. Okay. Any feedback around them falling? They're saying sturdy underground. Okay, so they're really sturdy underground. I'm getting that the roots, the network of the roots, is holding them in place underground. So it's like they're pretty intertwined. They're saying they're pretty intertwined underground. They shouldn't be falling over. They're like anytime soon. But they're kind of showing like the creakiness, right? If you hear them creaking, they're saying like you'll know, like you'll all know when like there's a problematic tree. Interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're
We have to
showing.
do tree maintenance, so
Yeah, they're like showing.
responsibility.
They're showing. Yeah, they're showing you getting somebody here to like check them anyway.
Yeah.
But they were also showing like you like knocking on a tree. And like getting a sense of like, are you good? Are you good? It's so funny. Okay. Let's see.
I do have a question about the stream, which is that so we had a bridge there, but it got washed away because like, the water is like getting much more vigorous in the past few years. So it washed away. It's in pieces, as you can see. And so we want to rebuild the street. We want to rebuild the bridge, but we want to make sure we do it in a way that doesn't wash away.
They just said higher above. They just said higher above. Higher above. They're showing like an arc.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Make the shape. I'm also getting like, and there's something really symbolic and beautiful about when you do that. But it's a bridge. Going to the other side, coming back. Going to the other side, coming back. But yes, arch. How can the current owner best interact with these key features? And they're showing the hands in the stream. They're showing you with your feet on the ground and placing your hands on the trees. And I feel like that's for you, that's for them, but it's like for you even to like stretch and like there's like certain stretches or like postures or something that you might do with a tree.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of inviting you to do that.
Okay.
They like that. They like that. I'm just getting interactions. Like they just love interacting with you. And so it's like whether you are sitting or laying down or sitting by the fire or touching the ground or touching the trees or weeding or pulling poison ivy or gardening, like every time that you are like connecting physically and touching the land, it lights up. It's like it lights up here and it lights up there, it lights up there. And I'm just seeing like anytime you walk, it's like each step is like a light, a light, a light, a light, a light. And it's like there's like such an invitation that we love when you're out here touching us. Like all the plants are saying like we love when you touch us. We also love to hear like you talking, your voice, the vibration of your voice. They love hearing the family talk. They love your voices. So I'm just getting like the vibrations of your voices is like being touched. So whether or not you are physically touching things out here, the vibrations of your voice are also, our voices are also touching. Yeah. So they're kind of like if you were singing or playing music or like anything that you might were playing, laughing, they're even saying crying. They're like all of the things like that come out of you are beautiful and resonate. They're like they resonate. They have this like reverberation. So what can be added to it? They're calling it a mini forest. So they're kind of saying it's already pretty full. Like, you don't need to really add. But they're, throwing seeds. Interesting. Throwing seeds. They're saying experience, experiment. They're saying you can intentionally, physically bury seeds and plant things. They're saying colorful. So you can either physically, intentionally plant them in certain places, or you can toss seeds and see what happens. There's something about that. Because they said throwing seeds earlier, right? I remember that. So they're saying it again. They're kind of saying, see what sticks. And there will be this interesting communication in that, because you're going to throw it, and I'm getting like, it's almost like a
Like a game.
Yes. Yeah. And so if it sprouts, they're saying, yeah, we like that. You know, they're saying,
Yeah, that's kind of how we do things around here. We just throw things and see what sticks.
So that is what you do. Okay,
I'd
so they're
say.
saying they love it.
Oh, okay.
So they're saying do more of that. Okay, that's so funny. The throwing seeds, they love when you throw seeds, and they feel like it's a call and an answer.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it's like a slow process, obviously, because they have to grow. But they're like, you know, you could try different things, and they'll be like, nope, this isn't going to grow. We don't want this. But then they're gonna be like, yep, this can grow. We want this. Oh, I love that. That's a fun way to communicate. What cannot be modified or changed? I'm getting like the wildness. Like, if you ever felt like you wanted to like mow things, they're like, you don't really have to do that. You don't, right? Do you mow sometimes?
Yeah, we just mow like this area.
Yeah.
Like certain areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of just like, I don't know, there's something about like they're showing mowing. I'm getting the sense like they're kind of making it sound like in comparison to someone else, but like they're not going to do this. But they were basically saying if you were to, you know, rip up all the wildness and just have like a smooth lawn,
Yeah.
I'm just getting that like smothered, like something would be smothered. But I'm getting the sense that you weren't going to do that anyway.
Well, I was thinking, only thing we were
You were thinking about it.
No, we weren't thinking of like ripping it up at all. No, we love the wildness, but this area, like either making like a patio, like a stone patio, like clearing, a little bit of clearing.
Yeah.
Or like extending the deck a little bit.
Okay.
To make a little bit more like living space, because sometimes it does just feel like it's all wild and like we can't just like sit. You know what I mean? So we do want a little bit more like of some areas that are sort of carved out
To hang out, totally.
but like we haven't done it yet, and part of my reluctance is that I also just like I'm afraid of like messing it up.
So I
Messing
just
up the land.
they're showing me something as like this really cool invitation, and so what I'm wondering is, so you were suggesting either clearing this up to be more hangoutable,
Yeah.
or extending the deck. So they're liking the extension of the deck.
Oh really?
And I want to tell you why, because they almost showed this like come out,
Like a
and it's
tree
like you're
house.
in trees.
Yeah. I feel that.
So the trees are kind of like, we want to hang out with you. So I'm getting like they support, and like they're all about that decision more, because it's like you're higher up. They like you being high up like that too. I mean, it's like do whatever you want, obviously,
Yeah.
but they're feeling compelled to tell you that they love the deck extension because they like you being up in the trees.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're showing you like hanging out there with the trees, and then they're showing you here with the fire pit,
Yeah.
and they're showing like these different levels of things.
Yeah. I mean, we would like both, really.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know how would that would look like. How we'll do that.
That's so funny. Yeah. So there's an agreement that they like that idea.
Oh, cool. Cool.
So there really wasn't anything about not being modified.
Okay.
There's just something about, like, I'm just seeing like if there's like a perfection of lawn, they're just calling it smothered spaces.
Yeah.
Smothered spaces.
We like that.
Mm.
Messy stuff. Like that messy stuff.
All right, so this is the last question on the list. What is the most important message? The bravery for the internal battles, for the divisiveness. Just having the bravery. And so they're saying, like, use the property to find your peace when you are confronted with conflict and divisiveness. Use the property, use the fresh air, use the gardening. They're saying talk to the women, because they're within your lineage. You will get answers. They're saying the Lenape, like talk to everybody. I'm even getting the woman who does the housekeeping inside, like part of her, I'm getting like anger and frustration. Like she cleans with anger and frustration. Like she gets her okay, so that's exactly. And so it's all connected, it's all related. Yes.
That's funny.
So just like they're just like the property, just like use all the elements of the property to help you feel the inner peace, because your personal inner peace is the outer peace. And then I'm just getting like, whether or not you verbally share messages about this warning of the divisiveness within same, a family, a community, whether or not you verbally express that, it's in your awareness. It's in the way you look at people now. Now it's like fully understood. So you are going to have that energy of awareness around that and be basically fighting against it. So you don't actually have to say anything. Just by existing and having that information, you are just energetically now, that message is coming. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Wow. Do you have any other messages while we're open?
Yeah, my questions that I had were about the deck and the patio and the thing, and we don't have like a big number out front. You guys found us, which is good. We don't have a big number. We used to have one on a tree and it fell off. So I want to know, like, I want to make sure that we can be found in an emergency. So I'm curious if there's like any message about that. Like, do I need to put like a number somewhere? Where should I put it?
So they are saying make it big and make it visible. But there's also something about the energy of the numbers. 4-4 being a foundation, structure, stability. So they're actually saying, and because people are aware of numerology and people are paying attention to like angel numbers and things like that, by seeing 44, they're getting a message. And they're actually saying it's accurate for your property. So 44 is the appropriate numerology for the property, and so they're kind of saying like show it big and proud. What in whatever way, capacity, like direction, height you think will allow it to be visible. Yes, for the emergencies, but also when people are driving by and they see 44, that has a resonance in their mind. And I'm just getting big pride. So make it big and make it visible, as a sense and a feeling of pride about the property. Yeah. And I'm just getting structure, 4-4, structure, 4-4, 4-4. So like 4-4, like 4, like they're showing me like levels, like there's something about levels and height. Yeah. And 4 corners. Oh, and the 4. Oh my goodness, the 4. Oh, that's crazy. So when they were talking about the Lenape communities and they were, yeah, okay. Yep. So they're saying big deal, pride. Take pride in those numbers, show them big, yeah. Even if it was coming through as like this urgency of just like, oh, if we're in an emergency, we need people to see where we are. No matter how it had to come through, they're just like, yeah, there's support to make it big.
Okay. Cool.
Wow. Okay. Do you feel complete? Do you want to? I mean, it's a lot of information.
Yeah.
Do you feel a lot of stuff to sit on and process?
Amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna totally like connect more with, because I feel like I've been neglecting the property a little bit. So now I know, oh no, I shouldn't do that, like for my own good. And
It's for you. Yeah. They're everything is kind of just saying it's for you.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like you don't owe anything. You don't need to necessarily do anything. It's just ways that you can interact, but they're just saying all of this is for you.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna. Yeah. It's sort of just like sometimes there's so much to do. It just feels like overwhelming. So it's like, but yeah, like it might feel good to be more like connected to it. Actually.
Yeah. They're calling it a feedback loop.
It's awesome.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. This is amazing. So interesting.
I can't get over like the coolest stuff comes through. It's like you have no idea what's going to come through, and it's always so incredible and so grounding too. You know, it's like even talking about like the historical references and the different people. It's like you're talking about them like as if they're people that they're here because they're here, right? Their energies are here, their consciousness is here on some level, and they're just like directing you to different things to be aware of, that you can connect with. You can choose to connect with or not. But I'm really getting the sense, like throughout the whole thing, I was getting the sense that like you are open, and so through like even after this, like if you ever just ask your questions out loud to them, to any of them, you're gonna get answers. And you're gonna either feel it and you're like, okay, got it. It's either like a yes or no, or like you're gonna get words, like you're gonna get stuff. You're gonna get information. So if you continue to have questions, you can totally just talk to the property. You're so interconnected. And they're just saying again, like you're a catalyst. You're a fuel. And it works, but it works stronger when you're here.
That's nice. What a compliment. I'm so moved.
Okay, I'm just going to say the closing prayer. I would like to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion. I would like to thank the Lord to the Akashic Records for the point of view, and I would like to thank the Holy Spirit of all fallen knowledge and healing. Directly to my prayers, to me. Directly to my prayers. Directly to my prayers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.